Welcome back to another G Auto Repair YouTube video. It's been a while since my last video, and I'm glad to be back. It's been a rough month there, just getting over the COVID situation, but thank God everything is great. So what we're working on today is a 2014 Toyota Camry with AC not working. Now I've already kind of looked into it. I already know what the deal is. I just want to do a brief video on this common problem. This seems to be a very common problem with these Toyotas. And if you've seen another video of mine for the excuse me, for the what was it, a TC, I believe, that ended up being a nightmare. It ended up being a 2-week ordeal. It had several things going on, but the one that really messed me up was this same exact problem. So as you can see, we have pressure. It is a little bit low. I'll go ahead and let you know that it's a little bit low, but we do have pressure, so technically it should at least kick on the compressor. So we're gonna come over here and turn on the car. Okay, the AC is on, blowing high. It's warm, no cooling at all. So I already set up my scan tool, and we have a B1479 code, which is a flow sensor circuit. A flow sensor circuit. So if we go to live data, and this is just something to look at if you're having this situation or you're troubleshooting, don't spin your tires. Just watch this video and you'll be able to quickly, you'll learn from my mistakes, and you'll quickly diagnose the issue and get either yourself or your customer back on the road quickly. This flow sensor, if you look here, you'll see a reading 3.49. So you would assume, okay, it's working, it's reading something, blah 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 blah. That's what's gonna mess you up. That's what's gonna mess you up, because it should be about 4 volts, 4.5, something like that. 4 volts. And as long as the AC amplifier, or the module, Toyota calls it an amplifier, but it's an AC module, sees 3.5, it will not turn on the compressor. The compressor works fine, I promise you. It's just it's seeing this voltage, and it will prevent it from starting. Okay, the flow sensor causes that issue, so I'll prove it to you. I will prove it to you. Okay, we're gonna go over here. Oh, running out of battery already. So the AC is on, or it's not working, but all the controls are on. The fans are off, nothing is pumping, the pressures are static, as you can see. Okay, now I am going to come back over here, and I'm going to do a quick little test. Now if you don't know where this sensor is, it's gonna be right there where my light is shining. I don't know if you can see it with the glare or whatnot, but is that three pin connector right there, right next to that AC line. Let me move my light a little bit. So let me see if I can somewhat point to it. Right there, that right there, that's where your flow sensor is. It might be in a little different position depending on what car you have, but that's what we're looking at now. We're seeing here 3.49, 3.5. I'm gonna do a little trick using a magnet. Okay, we use a magnet, and we're just gonna put it right on top of the sensor. Okay, I'm just gonna put it right on top, up top of the sensor. That's all I'm gonna do, and you're gonna see the voltage here. See? See, I went up to 4 and everything started. The fans are kicking, the compressor's pumping. That's all it took, just to fool that sensor. As I said before, it is low on refrigerant. But now we tricked the sensor and we caused it to turn on. Now we're at 3.0. Once it starts, it's fine until you turn it off again. But if we were to go in here in the car, we're starting to get cool air. It's a little warmer on this side because we're low on refrigerant, so that's an additional problem. But we got the compressor to start. It should at least start. So that tells me for a fact that that sensor has gone bad. Now you can get the sensor separate. I don't remember the part number off the top of my head. I'll have to order it. Most of the time they'll tell you got to replace the compressor, which is not false. It is true, because it's difficult to find just the sensor, but it is available. I will type in the part number, you know, when I do the edits. I'll go ahead and put the part number somewhere around here for you guys. But that's all it is that stupid sensor goes bad. It tricks the AC module. It does not let it doesn't let the module turn on the compressor, and you get no cooling. But all you do is you replace that sensor and it's good. You don't have to drain the let me turn this off. Technically you don't have to drain the system. It's just a sensor that goes on top of the compressor. All it's being held by is a snap ring, and it's right here. Ooh, right there. There's a snap ring right here. Let me see if the lighting and all the crap is in the way. There's a snap ring right here. You take off that snap ring and this sensor slides right out. You slide the new one in and you're done. Technically speaking, you don't even have to put the sensor there. As soon as you plug in the new one, it'll start working. But just for the sake of doing things the right way, you just take out that snap ring and slide the sensor out, slide the new one in, put the snap ring back, connect it, and you're done. There is no refrigerant on the other side of that. It's all capped off. There's no risk of leaking or anything of that nature. The only thing that you might run into is that if you can't work with all these lines and hoses and crap in the way to get a snap ring plier, then yeah, you may have to take off these lines, and then you do have to drain it. But technically speaking, you do not have to drain the system in order to replace that, technically. So it's just a matter of getting to it and removing it and replacing it. That's all. So I hope this video helped, guys. Like I said, the first time I ran into this situation, it was quite a doozy. If you haven't seen that video, watch it. It's in my channel. I forgot the title of it, but it was I was pretty much explaining the whole thing. I had a couple of viewers say, hey, where's the sensor? You didn't point it out. And honestly, I don't remember if I did or not. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but I'm doing it now. It's right there. It's literally right there. You can see it. You know, sometimes these recordings don't give it justice, but it's right there. I pointed it out already. It's on the compressor itself. That is not to be confused with the flow valve, which is down there. It's a 2-pin connector. It's right down there. Not to be confused with that. That's a different ordeal there. That's what threw me off on the other situation. I had a buddy said, oh, replace the compressor. But let's be honest, this is a very expensive compressor, and I knew for a fact the flow valve was working, but the flow sensor was kind of stuck in the intermediate reading, and was not allowing the AC module to turn on the compressor. So, and I already proved it. You just stick a magnet to it, you just change that voltage, and it'll kick right on. So I hope this helped. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Ciao. All right, we're back with the Camry here, and I've already replaced the flow sensor, not the flow valve, the flow sensor. And as you can see here, now we're reading the correct voltage, which is at 4.3 now. So technically this AC system should work. So we're gonna go ahead and start the car. Okay, we're gonna turn on the AC. And let's see. Now we're still low on refrigerant, so I think it is, yeah, I think it's cooling. Yeah, one vent is cooler than the other. So now, when this is something I gotta compare with other known good systems, but it seems that when I replace a sensor, this sensor pretty much stays stationary at about 4.3. When I did the TC, it did the same thing. So I'm not sure if that's a normal thing, or it's an aftermarket part ordeal. I'm not 100% sure yet, but it's definitely working. I can feel it. The evaporator fin thermistor is still registering 119. It's still really hot, and we're low on refrigerant. But we're gonna go out here just so you guys can see that the system is in fact working. And we're gonna add some refrigerant now that we're out here. If we look at the pressures, we can see we're doing some work. We're just low on refrigerant. So we're gonna fix that right now. I don't know why these things always twist up like that. We're gonna stop right there for now. 45, a little over 150. We should be cooling more now. So again, the sensor is right there. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. Right there. What I did was I just kind of moved this out of the way, like so, just so I can get a better access here. But there's the sensor right there, and I didn't have to remove no lines, no nothing. Oh boy, it is hot. Okay, yeah. Big difference. Yeah, so there you have it. You don't have to replace the entire compressor when you have that issue. Most shops are going to see how the glare here is horrible as well. The fin thermistor is registering at 59 now, so you could definitely tell the difference is nice and cool in here. Now let me raise up this window. So most of the time they're going to tell you you need to replace the entire compressor. That is not necessarily true. You can find the sensor. You can even find the flow valve. I haven't had to replace one yet, but you can find them separate. They're not easy to find, but you can find them. Chances are you're not going to find them at any parts store. Locally, they can order it for you, but they're not going to have it in stock. The same with this sensor. There may be just one or two stores that have it, and I will post it if I haven't already put it on the edits there. I will show you the part number. It's a Dorman part. And all you do is get the little sensor, pop it out, pop it in. They're not gonna come out without a fight, so you may have to struggle with it a little bit. Spray some WD-40 on it and pry it out with a screwdriver without boogering up the hole where it goes into, because then you're gonna have a hard time putting in the new one. But if you gotta take it out in pieces, who cares? You gotta replace it anyway. So just pry it out. You may have to go. I had to actually go from underneath the car to kind of whack it with a screwdriver and a really long flathead screwdriver and pry it out. But that's how I was able to get it out. Sometimes they don't go out without a fight, but it is not that big of a deal. So I hope this was useful. Please like and subscribe, support the channel, and those who are already supporting the channel, I thank you very much. And we'll catch you on the next video. Ciao.